faculty of crime.
Hello, everybody. What's up? I am Jay with Guilty of Crime, and we're back. Happy Tuesday. What's up, all my peeps? Good to see everybody coming into chat. All my loyal folks. I got Synth in the house, my right hand girl. I don't know how I could have ever let her take a break. Synth, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. Hey guys, tonight, speaking of that, they're going to be on Dolly Uncensored. Turtle Vision is on tonight. So you guys go over there. I think it starts at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard. What is it? Is it 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time? Anyway, well, I'll get the facts for you. What's up, everybody? Now, this is not a roast on gray pubes, although you guys know that we don't like GHI over here. So I'm going to get down to what we are doing. And I want you to know that Grisch is probably one of the most genuine YouTubers out there. Besides myself, of course. If you know me, you know I'm here. I've been here for the case, for the Maddie case, for whatever case I'm covering. I'm here to cover the case, not for the Jay did this and she didn't do that and she messed this up or she's that. That's not how we roll, guys. So we're getting to this awesome level of people, right? We're gonna hit 25,000 sooner than we can imagine. And then all of you people are the day ones. That's it, folks. I am not giving out anybody else my text number, my personal. That's it. I'm all done. I got my loyal mods. I got my peeps here that have been here since day one. And anybody else outside of that, we're going to say bye, like in sync. We don't care. Right. And I say that because so much goes on behind the scenes that you guys don't even want to know about. Grish is amazing. We're going to start off with that. And I do want to show you Grish's intentions. Now his link is huge in the description. I even said Grish, and I just straight up said reaction to Grish. So there's no mistaking. Now I was kind of trying to get his attention when he did this premiere in chat. And I was like, hey bro, I cannot wait to react to your post. And somebody in there says, oh, wow, that's low. That's the lowest of low, is trying to advertise your content on this man's platform. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? I'm sitting there trying to talk to him. Isn't that what a premiere is for, you guys? So happy Tuesday. Let me let my dog in. This is the man, the legend that everybody's talking about is Grish. Today we're reacting to Grish. And he says this is not a Gray Hughes fake Facebook post and video. It's not about Gray Hughes. It's about Jenn Soto and how he says that she's groomed. And it's annoyed Grish. It annoyed him to the point of making a video about it. He's still working on it. He knows some people talk crap about gray pubes on different platforms, but it's not about him. It's for the people who agree with him on Jenn being groomed and knowing nothing. He wants to set us straight. And I'd love for him to set us straight. So you guys, That is the man of the day, of the month, of the year. Everybody loves Grish and they love his content. There he is. This is who we're reacting to today. Okay. So there's no mistaking. You guys hit the like, subscribe, go subscribe to his channel. We're doing this on a live stream and we're reacting to it. And we're filling in the facts of the case because that's how we roll. All right. So that's what we're doing today. Grish, 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 Grish. Did I say it enough? This is Grish's video we're reacting to. That's what reaction videos are called. So if that was enough, if you guys didn't hear that I said Grish and dropped his link 1,000 times, then one more time, we're reacting to Grish's video, y'all. All right? That's what we're doing today. So that's how we roll. Oh, no, I didn't mean to do this at all. Hold on. I did something. I think I might have messed up my stream. I got to go get Wes. Thank you, Edith, so very much for the one guilty of crime membership. Let's get this back on here again. Even though we have our opinions about gray pubes, it's not about him. It's about Jenn Soto. And I have a couple of things that I want you guys to figure out, hashtag think about. Let me go get Wes. He's having a huge fit. I don't know why. I just fed him. Come on, ladies. I think he wants to see you. All right, let me go grab him real quick. All right, Wesselton, let's go. Come on, Wesselton. Come on, get in here. There you go. There you go. There's your ladies. There's the ladies. Welcome, everybody. He just wanted to be in with his ladies. All right, there's the ladies. All right, mwah. Now time to lay down. Go, your belly's full. Okay, love you too, buddy. You cool? You good? All right, we're good. We're good. Wesselton's good. We're all good. As long as he's good, we're good, right? All right, back to the show. All right, so he's happy. He ate, his belly's full, and he wants to chill with us. He wants to be in the recording studio today. All right, that's how we roll around here. All right, everything's out on the table. No tricks up our sleeve. Lynette Burns, Jennifer Soto morphs blew my mind right open. Thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. Absolutely. I cannot wait to talk about it. Wes loves you too, Gringa and Shelly and Rachel. And what's up, Indy Isham? How you doing? Did I miss? There's no talk about any drama. I posted on my page. I posted on my post page and made a statement about talking about Jenn Soto, and there's an interview that came out with, thank you, Sanctuary Behavioral Health and Wellness. We love your channel, how much we appreciate the work you're doing. You're constantly incredible, informative, but empowering. Thank you for highlighting stories and caring deeply. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. There's only so much of, you're a piece of trash that one person can take, right? And so now I got to start blocking out all of that stuff. Now, I did a Jenn Soto video about the PPP loan and stealing money from the GoFundMe. I combined the two. I also reposted it for those that wanted to watch it. Now, there's a particular channel that I thought I was friends with. I've talked to her twice, and this is the second time she's bashed me and made a video about my video bashing me. And I can't understand why, because it would be like if I'm like, what's up, Shadow, my girl, or whoever you are. What's up, Shadow? Love you. You're so great. And then after you pass, I bring Brenda up here and say, oh, yeah. Brenda, did you see that? Shadow's a piece of shit. I can't stand that Shadow. Shadow stinks and Shadow's gross. And then, but Shadow, Brenda, you're my girl. Oh, wait, Jen's a gypsy. What's up? Did you hear about that person I just had up here? I can't stand them. Well, that's what's happening. And that's what happens with YouTube, guys. So I just want you to know, please don't send me anything from other videos that are, I think people are running out of content. And so they're creating content and drama based on the content I'm creating. And today, Grish and I are both creating content from other people's content, but we're doing it in a respectful manner. All right. So that's what I wanted to say. I can't wait for Turtle Island later. All love. I won't feed into the BS. Last week there was some, Brandon Lynn, thank you for the $1.99 super sticker. I appreciate you. Pink Banjo says, nailed it. You can't trust anybody nowadays, but I don't want to feel like that with you guys. All right. So I'm going to stop it at the people that I have now. And that's it. Going forward, we're not going to have any anymore. Yeah, that's the deal. Thanks, Synth. I appreciate that. Yeah, the deal is there's two mods that left my channel, one that's being quiet and the other one that's literally just gaslighting me. That's it. But the thing is that YouTube has a lot of two-faced people, nothing but drama. That's not true because we help people like Corey Michelo's mom, Brianna Michelo, and Rebecca. We help them to get to a better place. We're going to donate to channels soon. There's a lot of good on YouTube, but you got to stay out of the bad. So the two mods that left my channel, one stayed quiet, the other one is gaslighting me any chance she gets. And then after I get gaslit, someone comes to me and says that they heard that what they were doing to me, I was doing to them. And I'm like, I'm 45 years old. I'm trying to help people on YouTube and I can't deal with this. So I will no longer feed into it. That's it. Period. I'm done. If you guys made it to this mark, you're here. If you didn't, then I'm sorry. All right. So my people are my people. Anybody else, you're just going to watch my videos and there's nothing personal, baby. Tracy Helms, we love the voice for the voiceless. That's why we're here today to watch Grish's video, get some insight. Again, the PPP details. You guys go on my Patreon. I gave you all of the puzzle pieces. You put them together. You put the puzzle pieces together. Instead of you blasting me, you go put the puzzle pieces together and you do a video about what I did and see how far you get instead of blasting me. Criddles 199 J all the way. Thank you so very much. I love you. I love all you guys that are here, and I love the people that are here for true crime, right? And a little bit of fun because Gray Hughes thinks Jenn Soto was groomed. Oh my God. I was watching this and I was trying to chat with Grisch at the same time because he didn't do it live. He did like a one of those premieres where you can still talk. Kylie says, I'm going to be honest. I was batting for you in another stream. You were being misquoted. Thank you, Kylie. Thank you. See? You see what I'm saying, Kylie? People just take what I say out of context. They start talking mad crap. And Kylie comes here on a daily basis when I film, and you know who I am. So thank you. I appreciate you for doing that. Much love to you, Kylie. Much love. Synth, tell him to eat your grits. Yeah, I want to say something worse than that, but I have class and I'm a grown-ass woman with two beautiful children that look up to me. So those people that want their children, or they don't have children, or they do have children, but they don't care how their children look at them, that's on you guys. All you. Yeah, crackheads can't be groomed. You're absolutely right. Victoria, I love you. Karina, is that idiot bothering? There's a few idiots bothering me, and I just gotta let it go. It's not Gray Hughes. Gray Hughes didn't do anything. We're just doing a reaction from Grisch. It's just there's a few people on YouTube that are trying to get my goat, so to speak. And I had to put it on my post page and let you guys know it's all love. All I want to do is help the victims. When I drop the mic and I'm done for the day, that's it. I'm done. The people that I'm friends with anybody else. You guys didn't make the cut because I don't trust anybody on YouTube anymore. And I only have my certain people. I thought that the creator that was a friend of mine was a friend. But let me tell you, if those are the kind of friends that people have, I don't want friends. I don't want friends at all. Yeah, it's easy to twist words. Absolutely. Let's go, guys. We're the gang. We've got Guilty of Crime crew. We got lots of stuff to give away, lots of new merch, lots of new things. And yeah, not a few people, a few haters. Exactly, Hurricane. You're my day one. I love you. Let's go. Let's smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, get a membership if you can, and let's hit the play button. Grish, we all love you, my man. All right, fair use content, baby, for all of us. It's all fair use content. There's Grish's logo. Go blow his channel up. He deserves it.
So this past Thursday, the heat stopped working at my girlfriend's house. I'm thinking it's the thermostat. I go buy a new thermostat, wire it up, and the furnace still acts up again. So this is like an actual emergency because here is the environment in which I live. Okay, so I go and check the igniter inside the furnace. That's good. And then I find that the flame sensor is cooked. So I go out, buy another flame sensor, replace it. And as I'm working on that, I decide to take a break and go on Facebook and then look at the Justice for Madeline Soto Facebook page. And on that page, I see a post by
Gray Hughes. Now, remember, Grisch is a very new creator. He's the most genuine guy ever. Like he's like the guy that walks around saying, "What is that? I don't give a shit." It's the I can't remember, but it's always the honey badger don't give a shit. Honey badger don't give a shit. That is this guy. That is Grish. Grish don't give a shit. Right? Love it. I appreciate him so much. And I want to thank Carlisa and Barbara for the $25 Cash App. I appreciate you guys so much. You have no idea. You guys have no idea. All right. So it's not about Gray Hughes. It's about the content that he's pushing. And Grish is just telling it like it is. That's what he does, right? That's what he does. That's who he is. And that's why we love him so much, because he's so genuine. And like Honey Badger, he don't give a fuck.
By Gray Hughes. And I read that post and I go back to the furnace. I fix the furnace. The temperature is going back up to a respectable level. And I go back and read it again. And this is what he said. My opinion that Jennifer was also groomed was one I came up with based on actually looking up how these predators work. Also, didn't you guys hear the investigators say that even after they looked into Jennifer for being involved, they now believe she was not aware of what Stephen Stearns was doing? So, do you all also agree with the actual investigators who actively tried to find a connection but couldn't, but now believe she was not aware? Wake up. You know what, though? I bet most of you never heard the investigators say that because the channels you watch and the people you follow would never play that for you. It's more entertaining to have another boogeyman to go after.
And you guys know, a lot of you guys have gone on GHI's platform. Now, Grish is new to the scene, so he's just finding it. And in his heart of hearts, it's telling him, man, we don't want this narrative to be pushed out there. We want the real deal. And yeah, Jennifer, right, you're right. He makes up facts and it's about ego. It's not about the victims like Madeline Soto. It's about his ego and what he thinks he wants to push the narrative as. And so Grish is coming and saying, this guy's out of his freaking mind. Let's get this corrected. I love it. I love it. I love it. We've all seen, GHI. I think a lot of you guys already left his channel a long time ago. And you're right. Absolutely, Barb Murray. She was Maddie's boogeyman. We all love Grish. All right. So that's where we are. That's what we're talking about. We're not trying to roast Gray pubes. What we're saying is that Gray Pubes let his ego take over, and he's pushing this narrative about Jenn Soto that's not true. All right, that's what we're saying here. Yeah, Gary, he hates it when you call him Gary, and we're gonna call him Grifty Gary. So what's up, everyone? Hello, Sherry. Good to see you, Wyatt, my guy. All right, Grish, let's get him. Let's get him, buddy.
I went over to his YouTube channel to find which video he's referencing.
Today's video is going to sort of piggyback on top of last night's show where we discussed the things that predators do, and it was serving as a warning to parents out there to look for these particular things that predators like Stephen Stearns do to be able to abuse the victims that they choose. And I think it's pretty obvious when you go over those documents. We went over 7 different, well, they weren't really documents, they were 7 different articles, and they all had similar things to say. And they talk about how the predators will groom the parents and the child at the same time. And I think that's exactly what happened with Jennifer.
First, let's make
Right now, there's a couple times, and I want to clear this up. There's a couple times, and yeah, Carly, please smash that like. He's a furnace ninja. I love him. He was fixing his girlfriend's thing, and then he's like me, ADHD. He's fixing his girlfriend's thing. The stock gets in his mind, and then he makes a video. Right? That's what you do around here. So, well, I don't even remember what we were talking about right now. We're about to talk about, oh yeah, Jenn being groomed. Now, I've said that before, not in that context. The context is Stefan picked a potato that he knew was that would be easily groomed in the way where she'd say, "Here, Mr. Stefan Mickey Mouse Stearns, here's my daughter, because I'm gonna just be a potato and lay on the couch all day and sleep, and you can do whatever you want to her at any time." He didn't groom her like she didn't know what he was doing. He groomed her in a way that he tried to with other women. Other women, he said, yeah, exactly. It started out as that. He was fishing. He threw out his reel, like he told the lady, "Hey, I sleep between Maddie and Jenn, and when I wake up, I have a wood in the morning." And she said, "What? That's not normal." He was expecting her to say, "Oh yeah, well, you gonna come stay the night over here? I have a daughter too." She had a daughter, so he was fishing. He caught that giant potato instead of a fish, and there you go. So when I say groomed in that way, that's what I mean. Groomed in the way that Gray Pube says, absolutely not. And we're gonna tell you why right now.
sure we're on the same page about what he means when he says the word grooming. And this is YouTube, so I can't say certain words. You know how it goes. Grooming is the action or behavior used to establish an emotional connection with a vulnerable person, generally a minor under the age of consent, and sometimes the victim's family, to lower their inhibitions with the objective of SA. It can occur in various settings, including online, in person, and through other means of communication. Children who are groomed may experience mental health issues, including anxiety, depression, post traumatic stress, and self deletion ideation. There's a footnote link after the first sentence, and it says a significant aspect of the grooming process is that the abuser also grooms the child's parents. The abuser dupes the parents into believing that he or she is a trusted adult into whose care they can entrust their child. There's a footnote link after the first sentence, and it says a significant aspect of the grooming process is that the abuser also grooms the child's parents. The abuser dupes the parents into believing that he or she is a trusted adult into whose care they can entrust their child.
Again, I love that he's breaking it down, but I don't think it went down in the way that he's saying. I think it's which woman would let me have enough access to her child and not give up like the honey badger does. And then we can have a mutual benefit. And we're going to talk about that here today. If you haven't seen this video, it came out last night. Absolutely. Read Jenn's journal. She was not groomed. We're going to talk about all that today, Jeep Sahara. Good point. All this good point. I'm surprised GH didn't strike this, and glad he didn't. Let him. Oh well, let him have fun doing it. Let him
This is the
strike a
part where
match
Gray
too.
Hughes makes his point by playing a portion of the interview that Jenn Soto had with detectives on March 1st. And then he'll play that section and then he'll make his point.
Now let's start off by listening to a portion of Jennifer's interview that I had lip synced and enhanced a while ago. We'll just listen to that right now.
Oh, okay. So I had a rule. She wasn't allowed to sleep in his bedroom at all. Like no sleepovers, no nothing. For a very long time. For years.
For years.
Since we're pausing,
Yeah.
what brought that up? Was that like a request of his? Like, can we sleep in the same bed? Request of hers? Or you just saying?
And me being super paranoid, not to trust anyone. For the longest life, even though he treated her well, I still looked at him on, like side eye, like making sure, like, is that normal? Is this okay? That was normal. Okay.
Yeah, and as we learned last night, that's totally normal. That over time, the predators will push the boundaries, even though at the beginning you were a little bit paranoid about it or questioning whether it was okay.
And maybe, you know what, maybe Gray's coming from the point of a predator. I've seen him many times. Back in the day when I did used to watch his channel before I was a YouTuber, I would watch his content and I'd be like, what is up with this dude? Somebody would call in and say, I was traumatized as a young child. I was raped. And he'd say, oh, yeah. Can you tell me about the details? And they'd say something that was like, really, I couldn't even take it. And then, how'd that make you feel? Like he was way too interested in the details of what happened to him and how it made them feel. And it felt gross to me in the way he was like, yeah, he creeped me out. Like I felt like he was getting off on hearing about what happened to him as a victim. He would dig deeper into these questions, and I'm like, something's wrong with that. That's not how you talk to people that are traumatized. You don't ask them. You don't know that. Ugh. So maybe that's what he's coming from. And when you can come from a predator stance, then buddy, how to push the boundaries and do all that. But we don't know about that because we're not for the predators, homie. We're not for the predators. Ugh, I've been grossed out since then, guys. Grossed out. I feel like he's on the side of, he's like an Epstein, one of those guys that walks around and you think he looks, oh, let me sit on my knee for Christmas. What do you want for Christmas? And he's over there going in the bathroom and whacking it, man. I'm just, hey, in my opinion.
Over time, they develop trust and again push the boundaries even further, and then they'll be accepted to be able to do things like a slumber party, etc.
Accepted to be able to do things like a slumber party. Jenn Soto wasn't groomed by Stephen Stearns.
Thank
Gray
you.
Hughes isn't just wrong about that. There are levels to his wrongness.
Yeah, strike
So
this.
let's start with Jenn Soto.
I don't care. Take me down. Fuck off while you're at it.
So I had a rule. She wasn't allowed to sleep in his bedroom at all. Like no sleepovers, no nothing. For a very long time. For years.
When you're a kid and your parents told you that you weren't allowed to do something, that was usually after you had already did something or
Yes, this is such a good point. They don't just come to you and say, hey, Alicia, don't do this for no reason. They don't have like this rule book and they're telling you. And you know what, Fuerte? Thank you for saying that, because when I got icked out by his channel, he was talking about having children sleeping with stepdads and step this and he was normalizing having children sleep with men. He was saying that's wrong. If you don't trust your boyfriend or your longtime boyfriend or or the stepdad, you shouldn't be with him. Oh my God, that just triggered me. That normalizing word. He was normalizing it. That's what he was doing. He hides his face for reasons that you can go to his channel and check it out. But yeah, you got kicked off the channel. Yeah, he normalized grooming he was normalizing that shit. And I was like, dude, I don't care. I don't care who gets mad at me for this. I'm going to say this. I have to say this because it just struck a nerve with me. I do not want anybody to normalize letting a stepfather, a longtime boyfriend, or anybody sleep with your children. No aunts, no uncles, no cousins, no nothing. Just don't do that. That's it. Ugh. I feel gross.
or attempted to do the thing that they now don't want you to do. So what I'm saying is that Jenn didn't have this rule from day one. There had to be something that caused her to make up that rule. So before that rule existed, it would have to be more of a common sense boundary. So if we were to reword what Jenn's saying and make it more of a common sense boundary, it would be she wasn't supposed to sleep in Stefan's bedroom. So we already have the common sense boundary. Madeline wasn't supposed to sleep in Stefan's bedroom, which an event takes place for Jenn to make up that rule and say Madeline wasn't allowed to sleep in Stefan's bedroom. Now, let's actually finish Jenn's own sentence. she wasn't allowed to sleep in Stefan's bedroom at all.
Right.
That's added emphasis there. So by Jen saying Madeline wasn't allowed to sleep in Stefan's bedroom at all is like saying she wasn't allowed to sleep in Stefan's bedroom for any reason. And it shows a higher level of restriction. And a higher level of restriction in this context is only necessitated by a higher level of intent. And that intent is placed on Madeline, which is very problematic because when she was asked this question, it was March 1st, before she knew that they were going to find Madeline's body.
That's absolutely right. It was, as a matter of fact, it was about 3:30, I think, or 3 o'clock, and it was about 3 o'clock, and they found her an hour and a half later. And I'll let him finish his sentence, but it's interesting what he's saying because he's absolutely right. And the more I hear it, I've been listening to Allegedly Speculating while I work, and I've been catching so many more things. I'm like, it blows my mind what Jenn Soto's getting away with. And you guys, it's Grisch. You have to go over to the channel. It's in the link. He does it for his own purposes of why he does it. He's a YouTuber that doesn't want people to know who he is. I don't remember why, but I know there's a good reason, and we all love Grisch. I don't blame him. I show my face, and now I kind of wish I didn't because people are just so horrible on YouTube. But yeah, he's got a great show. Listen up, and thank you, Artemis Prime, for stopping by. Yeah, research them, but be prepared. 300 in chat, only 121 likes. Come on, y'all. If you like the content that I put out there, the reactions that I do, the people that come on, hit that like button. It's free. It's free to hit the like button. What's up Against All Logic? Steph, what is up? Andrea made it. Yeah, he only you're right. Grish has a record. That's why he covers up. Is that what it is? I didn't realize that. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you, Lucky. I appreciate you, even at my moment. All right. That's how I feel today.
And 2 days after she was told all about the CSAM stuff. And she puts the intent on Madeline sleeping in Stefan's room on Madeline, as if Madeline took the initiative to do all of that shit.
Right.
I don't know if Jen's telling the truth about making up a rule stating that Madeline wasn't allowed to sleep in Stefan's bedroom. But if I wanted to know if it were true or not, I would probably ask what brought about that rule.
Right.
Now let's see what the detective asks her.
I wanted to make sure that nothing was happening and that I was missing something, but I'm sorry. Repeat the
Wait,
question.
what?
So
Wait, what?
You said like you had a rule. Like obviously we know now they've
Yeah, and why did she just say that? She was like, "Hey, I wanted to make sure nothing was happening." What prompted her to make sure nothing was happening? I didn't even catch that part before because context is different when you start and stop it from somewhere else, right? You can take a clip of my show and take it way out of context, and yeah, that's what I said. But why did she say that? Why is she saying that she had to check and make sure nothing was going on? Why would she ever have to do that? And why did she ever have that Woody? I mean, that it goes back to the Woody Allen thing. How did she even know that? Thank you so much. You guys, when I first brought Grish on the show, he had less than 2,000 subscribers, and we went and we showed his content. I put him all in the links in the channels, and it blasted up like by a couple thousand within a day. So we love the people that we stream here and react to, and we're all about the love. We're not trying to be greedy up in here like it's all for me. We're a team. The context changed at times when unredacted. Absolutely right. Pink Banjo, you nailed it. Yeah, Grish is a G. Absolutely. He's a ninja too.
slept in the same bedroom together and everything else. I'm sure you're questioning a lot of things that like you haven't been told or that are going on. The thought process of them sleeping in the same bedroom caused you to say that you had a rule for the longest time where they couldn't.
Yeah.
So when you say you had a rule, I guess I'm asking what prompted.
Yeah, what prompted the rule?
Prompted.
Yeah, she said, yeah.
Yeah.
What prompted the rule?
Can you do that? I'm like, no. We can all watch movies down here together.
That sounds like fake to me. Come on,
She
Grish,
doesn't
tell
even
us.
answer the question.
She doesn't answer the question. Did you hear that? She didn't even answer the question. I'm so glad he said that. He said, "What prompted you?" And Grish played it like 3 times. What prompted you? What prompted you? And she said, "Yeah." And then she said, "Oh, they're watching TV." And she changed the subject. I never caught that before. God, this is why we love Grish, guys. I'm going to go back for a second because I never even noticed that. What prompted you? What prompted you? What prompted you? What prompted you?
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you say you had a rule, I guess I'm asking what prompted. I'm asking what prompted.
Sleepovers before. Yeah. Like, you want to watch movies and eat snacks? Can we do that? I'm like, no. We can all watch movies down here together.
But what prompted you? About movies?
She doesn't even answer the question. Well, let's see what Ray Hughes has to say about that.
See that right there? Hey,
I
can we
love
watch movies and have snacks together upstairs together? See, pushing the boundaries, and eventually, after a while, when everything, it seems like he's a trustworthy person. She may have caved in at a certain point, and then it became something she allowed because Madeline never said anything about it because Stephen Stearns groomed her not to say anything. They use guilt against the child for them not to say anything.
Jen
Wait, they use guilt or you use guilt? Is that why you know where they're coming from? Because that sounds way wrong to me. It sounds like he's putting it on Madeline. It sounds like he's victim blaming to me. It sounds like Jen's victim blaming. She told Maddie not to do that. How about you tell your worthless, stinky piece of shit, ex or whatever, that, and not tell Maddie you're not allowed to have sleepovers? It's not 2 kids here. He's got a kink. He's got a kink. He likes anal. You can't. What? What is even happening? Yeah, that's why I like
Jenn
Grish.
Soto's gonna continue her rant, and Gray Hughes is gonna comment on that part of her rant, and I'll give you my opinion from that point.
We can all sleep down here together.
Yep.
Up until June.
Oh yeah, is that
All
right?
the time. So we were always. She would sleep in the middle. I would sleep on this side. He would sleep on the other side.
Yeah. Ew.
Um,
Why is she in the middle?
it wasn't until June that he got his own bedroom and I sent him upstairs. That's where the requests for sleepover started.
This, love it. Right?
If you agree with what Gray Hughes is saying about Jenn Soto being groomed by Stephen Stearns, and the example that he's using as far as when Stephen moved upstairs to bedroom number 4, that was in June of 2023. The bulk of the CCM evidence is dated between 2019 and 2022.
Yes, it was, baby. Yes, it was.
My haircut's fire.
It is fire. It is fire, bro. I need to know your barber. Where's your barber? You hear that? It's chronologically incorrect for him to have groomed her. Listen again on the time frames. And she's right. Listen up one more time. Look at it. He does have a good haircut. Hey, Grish, who's your barber? Well, let's go back as far as when Stefan moved upstairs in the bedroom number 4. All right. And we know he did that after everybody else moved out. And we're still wondering what was happening in between all the roommates moving out and Jen moving. And we still don't know all that.
In June of 2023. The bulk of the CCM evidence is dated between 2019 and 2022. My haircut's fire.
Oh, 2019 and 2022, June 2023. Oh, that was after. Okay.
And I kept telling her no. I'm not comfortable with that.
Yeah, and see, it turns out that Madeline is the one asking for the sleepovers, and that was probably done by Stephen Stearns having her ask for it. Because if he asked for it, it'd be weirder, right? Like even weirder. So she's the one that's asking for it. So it seems like, well, she's asking for it. Nothing bad must be happening. And that's the tactic that
No.
Stephen Stearns is using to use Madeline to ask to do the sleepovers.
Yep, absolutely. Not to that. To your comment. Listen, before we get into a sleepover, let me tell you what I do in a sleepover, and probably every single one of you people does it. First of all, I say no. Sometimes I pretend just because I have a child that you are children and you outsmart them to keep them safe. But let's say we go to the ranch, and when we go to the ranch, it's in Napa. We have our trailer and our RV. And Reese says, Mom, I want to go sleep the night at Aubrey's house. And then she goes over there, and the kids come back and they ask. I say to the parent, hey, don't say this in front of Reese, but no, she's never staying at your house ever, even when she's 21. And they say, okay. And then we get in front of the parents, and she asks again. And the parent says in front of Reese, I'm sorry, but I don't allow sleepovers. What the all right, that's all I gotta say. Adults talk to each other and they don't allow stuff. You don't put it off on the kid. Are you freaking kidding me? Oh my God. Thank you, Synth, so much for the $2 super chat. Gray Hughes sounds like a potato. And Gray Hughes sounds like a potato too. Notice. Ashton Lee, thank you so much for becoming a member, or being a member, for 5 months. What a potato thinks she's the smartest one in the room. Well, she still hasn't got arrested yet. I wonder what's happening with that. My God. Yes. Yes, Suzanne. If I didn't say it any clearer, then I didn't say it any clearer, right? You tell the parent, hell no. Okay, now let's all get in the room. And right at that, 333, we love you too, Maddie. We're here to fight for justice for you guys. Say a prayer, 333 in chat. That's our angel number. We want justice. Marcy, thank you so much. For being a member for 9 months. Bazard, my dude, saying insane shit as usual. Shake my head as if this was law enforcement and you would have asked her, would you do that with someone else's kid, with your boyfriend, but you allowed Maddie to. That's right, because she was getting a benefit out of it. That's why. And welcome, Bazard, to the chat. Yes, Bazard is also a G. Yeah, stinky dick. And then she also talks about it being girthy. That's not true at all. That is not true. I'll tell you what, I seen it. All right, sleepover. We're going to get the definition of a sleepover right now. It's also a slumber party or pajama party, a social occasion in which a young person stays at the home of a friend. Multiple people and friends sleep over at a friend's home. Typically, a younger person will partake in a sleepover. However, an adult or an older person may have a sleepover at a friend's house. I'm going to add to this at an appropriate age, right?
A sleepover is a social occasion in which a young person stays at the home of a friend. Multiple people and or friends may sleep over at the friend's home. What about the stuff going on in bedroom number 4? Would anybody define that as a sleepover?
Nope.
No. Jenn Soto has redefined the word sleepover as a way of minimizing what was going on in bedroom number 4. And the thing is, if Gray Hughes is only looking at the general signs of a predator, he's not looking how that predator would operate in this specific dynamic with Jennifer and Madeline. He could have done one thing. What are the signs? What are the behavior patterns? What are the things that a complicit or enabling parent would say in this situation?
What's up, my girl?
They would say everything that Jenn is saying in this interview.
Thank you, Ashley. Thank you.
She's the one that's asking for it. So it seems like, well, she's asking for it. Nothing bad must be happening. And
if she's asking for it, nothing bad must be happening. My daughter always asks to go stay at night at her friends all the time. I always say no. Always say no. Can't wait for his take real quick. Deborah Myers, one caught alive. Awesome. I'm bit, but you caught alive. Well, welcome, Deborah Myers. And everybody else that's rolling in the chat. Thank you guys. Leanne, good to see you, Montana Mystic. You're back. I hope you're feeling better, my girl. Let me know if you can talk after this is over. Okay, let's keep going. What's up to everybody? Love you guys all. Grish is the man. He just makes my mind work in a different way. Gets you thinking, doesn't it? All right.
In order to minimize and distance herself from what was going on in bedroom number 4, Jenn Soto has redefined the word sleepover. But if you just put Jen's words in motion, you can see where the issues are. And this is Jen's sleepover logic.
I had a rule. She wasn't allowed to sleep in his bedroom at all. Like,
No sleepovers.
In one of Jen's earlier interviews, she was asked if Madeline was allowed to attend sleepovers at her friend's house. Jenn said no, because as Jenn put it, I don't know the dad, I don't know the brother, and I'm afraid that Madeline could get assaulted.
And before I let him finish this, you guys, I do gotta say, I just thought of something. Why would she even have said that? There was an absolutely not, you can't sleep with him in his room downstairs. Why would they even ask that? Number one, you guys should all go over to Grish's channel. Foxy, can you, or one of the mods, can you drop a link? There is a link in the description, but everyone wants to know about Grish. I don't blame him. Not only is his haircut fire, but his mind is amazing and he wears a mask. So everybody go find out. Why would she even say that? Yeah, I agree. Fuerte, Madeline Soto would tell sometimes they isolated that baby. That's another thing. I bet you they did not want her staying somewhere else because number one, Stephen Stearns was really jealous of her being with everybody, including her own dad. You guys, did you hear that in the interview when Stephen Stearns, that last interview where they said, what kind of pictures do you have on your phone? And he's like, oh, Disney and lightsabers. And well, what do you know about Maddie's dad? Oh, isn't he like in Kentucky or Texas somewhere? That shows jealousy right there. He knew exactly where Tyler was. He knew it. He knew it. He knew it. I'm not saying Tyler was the perfect dad, but he kept in contact. He wanted Maddie over there. He had just seen her that October before. He knew exactly what he was talking about. And I bet he was furious when Maddie did go to visit him. I guarantee you he was not happy about that. No freaking way. Ugh. These people disgust me. And then what disgusts me even further is that we're talking about these people and making sure that everybody knows how to properly handle situations like this. Like, do you let your children stay the night at other people's house? No. Do you let them sleep with your boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, stepfather, whatever? No. And they still go on their platform and say, yeah, it's okay. Wink, wink. No, it's not.
Detective acknowledged that reasonable fear and asked her if she ever hosted a sleepover. Jenn said no. So one can only use logic here. The reason that Madeline's not allowed to attend sleepovers is the same reason why Jenn never hosted one. Because the male in the house could assault. Jenn talks about the sleepovers in bedroom number 4 because they're all sleepovers, according to her. And remember, she said no, 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 no.
Until she
Now we
finally
know the
came
reason
in.
she said no. Because the male in the house would assault. Yeah. So if she knows why Madeline can't attend sleepovers, she knows why she's not hosting sleepovers, and she knows why she said no to the bedroom number 4 stuff. She was aware.
And that's a whole other video, right? Mic drop. Bam. And if you add that on top of every other thing she's done, then boom, There it is. And we're not done yet, you guys. We're not done. You guys like when I get all feisty, right? You guys like when I'm all fired up like this. I know you do. We still got a show to go. I haven't even got to all of it either. I didn't get to the PDF documents that show Stephen Stern's DNA all over Maddie's chest, if you know what I mean. The one that starts with B, R. I don't even like to say it, but I know you guys like it when I get all fired up because that's passion. That's the passion. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, puke. Thank you, Goldilocks.
I've always told him that my biggest fear is that this would turn into a Woody Allen situation where the stepdaughter or the dad grooms the child and the child then turns 18 and ends up running away with him. I told him like that was my biggest fear, and I don't.
She actually first started with blaming Maddie. Did you hear that? She first said, "My biggest fear was that the stepchild would." Did you hear that? Not that the dad would do that, but that the stepchild would. I hope he brings that up because I know you guys just heard that. He literally just said that the stepchild would come on to the dad, and then she stopped herself and went backwards. Brenda, I hope you're saying yes to me because she literally just said that. Anna Orlando, right? That's all you had to hear. There's another freaking Freudian slip. Like, oh, Stephen Stearns updated his phone. She literally just said that. Yes, you got it. I'm feisty today, guys. I'm not holding back. I'm still going to be nice, but I'm feisty. And when I get in that mood, you better not mess with me. Not mess with me today. All right, one more. I want to listen to that one more time because slip.
I've always told him that my biggest fear is that this would turn into a Woody Allen situation where the stepdaughter or the dad grooms the child and the child then turns 18 and ends up running away with him. I told him like that was my biggest fear, and I don't ever want that happening. Like, you can't do that to me. Like,
Why would you say that to him?
because I never trusted. I grew up being told never trust a man.
Oh yeah. So what
When I
happened?
heard Jenn Soto say that, I had a very incorrect understanding of
Yep, that's what she
what
said. That's
the
what she
Woody
said.
Allen thing was about.
Yep.
I thought that Woody Allen was a really old Hollywood guy and he was dating a woman who was in Hollywood but kind of closer to his age. And then he left her and later on got with and married her daughter. And I'm thinking that she's like 30 or something like that, like well above.
It's really cool to have someone that doesn't know what the Woody Allen thing means because, yeah, we're going to listen to his explanation when somebody doesn't know something and they come with a fresh perspective. She literally is saying that her daughter, yeah, not only she's a big fat liar, but unbelievable the shit that she says. And I know why the officers aren't. I know why they're not pushing her harder because they don't want her to shut down. They don't want her to shut down. I am back among the living. Please call me after the show. Will do. Bazard, before I get into that next part, because look at his eyes. I can already tell Grish is going crazy. Everyone in chat, if your partner tells you about Woody Allen and relates it to your children, run and report it to the police ASAP. Thank you. Yeah, Marcy, hashtag, I'm going to say arrest Jenn Soto today. Yeah, Woody Allen, Roman Polanski, Hollywood. You got that right. I love this. I love this. And he explains the fact that she uses this and its impact on him. I can't wait. Let's go, Pink. Let's go, Pink Banjo. Let's do this. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I see you, Anna, Orlando, and everybody else that's faithful in my chat. Thank you.
You know, well into adulthood. Okay, so when I heard Jenn Soto say that and then explain the reference and talk about groom the daughter and all that shit, I was like,
What the?
and I went on Wikipedia and I was, oh, this is what.
That's a true reaction
So,
right there. That's
at
real
that
talk.
point, I thought to myself, how would I react if I was dated a woman who had a daughter and said that to me. So I took what she said and made it into a sentence that I would hear from her, right? So, like,
Yes.
my biggest fear that this will be a Woody Allen situation. I thought about it,
And
and
we
then I
love your
remembered I had to go on Wikipedia for it.
keep it
So
coming,
if
Grish.
a woman were to have said that to me, and I go on my phone and I look up Wikipedia, and I see that,
I love it.
I would just get up and leave. As soon
Exactly.
as I go on Wikipedia and then press the personal part and scroll down, because you know Woody Allen's mad old, so he's got probably paragraphs, and then I would just get up and leave. I don't care where I was, where we were. I don't care if I was in another country or nah. It's a
Hell no.
you don't exist. That is like that is crazy. And
Yes,
if I
that too.
understood the Woody Allen reference as I do now, and she were to have said that, it would be the same thing. Okay, it would just be
I love
delayed
it.
with the Wikipedia, you know. So I thought,
Yeah, done deal, man.
how would I react
Peace out.
after reading Wikipedia versus not having to look up Wikipedia? And the thing is, it wouldn't be a versus. In this case, as Jen explains it, she would have said that multiple times because she said that. Hold on.
His fear is that this would turn. His fear is that this would turn into.
Come on now.
With, I've always told him that my biggest fear is that this would turn into a Woody Allen situation.
She always
I've always told him. That
what?
means you told this man multiple times.
Yup.
So the Wikipedia versus a real understanding of the situation, it wouldn't be a versus. It would from her standpoint, it's a she says it more than once. So
I always told this man.
now the next question is, how the hell did this man answer that? How can you respond to that? There's no response for that.
I don't know.
If she actually said that to him, what the fuck did he say in response to that?
This is why I love Grish, and this is why we gotta push Grish everywhere. Now, Grish is just amazing. He's an artist. That's what he does for a living. He does all kinds of stuff, but he's a creative mastermind. We can't wait for the next videos. But him not coming into the case, right? Coming into the case like we've been for the whole year, digging through paperwork, having to look stuff up on Wikipedia. I love it because we get the most raw and realist response, and that's a response that we should have got from the police department. I know they didn't want to push her away, they didn't want to make her Jenn Soto stop talking, but how could that not be incriminating? And yes, how can anybody support Jenn Soto, including family members, after hearing this? Yeah, everybody go join his channel. Last time he literally bumped up he had almost 2,000 and he bumped up like double. We want him to bump up like double, right? And yes, you're right. The sex was not evil, but the running off together. Yes, us on YouTube want to see all of us grow. We don't want to just grow and leave people behind. We want to all do it together. Well, some people don't. We dropped his name is Grish. It's in my description. It's in my chat. It's all over. It's written on my wall. It's on my page. I could get a tattoo of it somewhere on me since I have so many tattoos anyway, and you would notice I could just write Grish on my elbow, but it says Grish. All right, let's keep going. You're welcome.
That shit.
Microwave cheese.
I need to know that. That's the question that the detective should have asked her. Well, what do you say in response to that? Well, you know what? It doesn't matter what he said. If she actually said that repeatedly and he took that on the chin, then that's your answer. That is your answer. That is like, oh man, no.
I love him. It's
No. Was he like, oh, I'm not, I don't want to be a Woody Allen situation.
Hey, that's why she's a potato, Grish. That's why we call her a potato, homie. She's a potato. She's
Come on.
he's so pissed about him.
That
And
is
Thor.
crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't know how anybody who is invested in this case, could hear that
She did
and
say
say,
that.
she's blindsided by all this.
She's
She
groomed.
gave it up right there.
Also, be
Because
her psychic
whether or not
abilities.
that actually happened, which she says it happened more than once, because she always told him the biggest fear is Woody Allen.
Right? Always means
That means, at the very least, her intuition is telling her this dude is a whole problem.
and I wonder if she actually ever told him that, or that's how she was feeling and all the jealousy. But if she actually really did tell him that, that's crazy. And that needed to be re-examined, you guys, in the case, period. Right? It needed to be re-examined all the way around. It just does. It's very disturbing. Yeah, send her to the room. I don't even know what to say. Far she's discussing it is what she is. Her biggest fear should be her child getting abused. Her biggest fear should be that they're not going to find her. Her biggest fear should be that when they do find her, she's not going to be alive. Her biggest fear is that in Florida, there's a huge trafficking problem and maybe she got trafficked. Her biggest fear should be that she's never going to see her daughter again. Her biggest fear is that maybe she didn't say I love you the night before. So many other biggest fears that should have came out of her daughter being gone that long. But instead she took her sleeping pills and went to sleep. Yes, I always told him means she said it more than once and very sternly, no pun intended. And thank you, Deborah Myers, my girl, for becoming a member of Guilty of Crime, the family. Thank you. We appreciate you. My God. I'm thinking there was a coin coming in from the abuse. Interesting. There was coin coming from in. Oh, God. Yeah. No lube for Stefan Stearns. She wasn't once. The whole thing says she loved her daughter. Not once. Not once did she say, I want her to come home. If you have her, bring. And she still did say her and body, but she did become a psychic, you guys. And her psychic abilities are definitely on point. I hope right now she's pulling cards and reading crystal balls because her psychic abilities are on point, guys. Take her pills, went to bed, didn't look for Maddie that night. No, she knew Stefan went out cruising to go do something to Maddie's body.
And then on top of that, let me go back.
I love
Like
him,
turned
man.
18 and ends up running away
Yeah.
with him. I told him like that was my biggest fear and I don't ever want that happening. Like you can't do that to me. Like
You
I
can't
don't
do
ever
that
want
to
happening.
me.
Like you can't do that to me. Like
You can't do that to
To
me.
me.
What about he can't do that to your daughter?
Right?
Clearly, he's not doing shit to you.
That's you. Clearly he's not doing shit to you.
That is
Oh,
crazy. How do I say this? She only cares how his behavior or his actions affect her.
Don't give two shits about
She doesn't
Maddie.
even consider her own daughter's the effect it will have on her own daughter in this. Whether or not what she's saying is true. If it's a lie, then in her own imagination, she does not give a fuck about the well-being of her daughter.
Yes, sir. Say it loud. Say it proud. Say it louder than that. And then bring GHI back. Yeah, Leanne, she wasn't really psychic though. She was part of it. That's why she
When
knew.
I first saw Gray Hughes' video saying Jenn Soto was groomed, yeah, I didn't want to be the guy that's like, this is why I think he's wrong, because it makes it seem like I have all the answers, and I don't. And I've had ideas about what transpired with this case, and I was wrong. But there's nothing. If you're wrong about something, it's okay. But if your need to be right is supersedes any kind of disagreement,
then that means your ego is bigger than your need to help victims, to help the family. That's another perfect thing that he said today. And thank you so much, Deborah Myers. Welcome. We love you back. We're here. You're part of the family now. Hurricane, I choked you. I literally choked on that one. I didn't even get to take a puff yet, and I choked on that one. But his ego and his need for grifting is bigger than helping victims, and that's, people do make mistakes. That's why I told you guys about the PPP thing I put on my Patreon with the documents. We're all looking into it. If the PPP loan doesn't pan out to every single person being ruled out, now this was all us speculating, and the documentation was me working with my mods to come together. If I didn't get it right, I'll say, hey guys, we got it wrong. Now we know the GoFundMe for sure. We know the GoFundMe that she stole. We know that for a fact because it was told to us right from the beginning. We couldn't do a GoFundMe because she took the money. Pearl's opinion tribe. Why is he with the mess? What's up, Pearl? My mom's name is Pearl, and that's his dealio. He doesn't want to be out there. I guess he's got a record, something like that. He doesn't want to be. He's got a record with the. He's got a jail record. He just doesn't want people to know who he is. Doesn't even matter because his mind is fire. All right, guys. Yeah, take a puff in the honor of Stefan not being able to. There you go. Love you, microwave cheese. He was okay with dumping Maddie with the Gators in hopes it never to find her precious, to keep precious Stefan Stearns. Agreed. Even the officer called it out. He said, why am I feeling that you're sitting there and worried about Stefan the whole time, but nothing about your daughter, which by the way, your daughter's name is not Body or the Body or her. It's Maddie. It's Maddie. Yes. Kimber Smiles, love Grish. And why in the heck would the Woody Allen scenario be in the forefront of her mind when your child is missing? She knew something was happening to make her have those thoughts. And not just once, but always. She always told Stefan Stearns not to do that. First, she started to blame Madeline, though. She said Madeline would be falling in love with the stepdad. All right. Now, I hope this is enough, and I hope the officers are building a case as we speak. Because you're right, Summer. Jenn is culpable. GHI can take his opinion and his ego and shove it as far up his.
that's different, and that's what I sense from him, that it's not really about the overall events of the case. Even if he's interviewing people, getting FOIA requests and all that, it's like no matter what he does, that seems like he's being thorough with this. And some of those interviews, like with the old friends of Stephen Stearns, those are good interviews, but there's a point where he will focus on something that's like this, like Jenn Soto being groomed. Like, come on. Like, how do you see that? And I'm not going to say why I think he's wrong without first trying to say what makes Gray Hughes' theory on this seem accurate.
I love you. I love you, Grish. I don't take that wrong, though. I love
In the
Grish.
course of Gray Hughes' video, where he talks about this Jenn Soto grooming theory, he has a screen out and there's a website, and that website talks about CSA. That website is owned by a law firm who specializes in trying civil cases on behalf of victims of CSA. In the beginning of Gray Hughes' video, he has Jenn Soto's interrogation with police from March 1st. You've heard it, the one where she talks about sleepovers and where Gray Hughes Hughes comments and talks about slumber parties. I'm gonna play that clip for you. I'm gonna take out the part where the detective speaks, so it's just Jenn Soto and then Gray Hughes's commentary.
Oh, okay. So
Welcome, Caitlin.
I had a rule. She wasn't allowed to sleep in his bedroom at all. Like, no sleepovers, no nothing. For a very long time. For years. Me being super paranoid, not to trust anyone.
Thank you, Suzanne.
For the longest life, even though he treated her well, I still looked at him on, like side eye, like making sure, like, is that normal? Is this okay? That's
Oh, yeah?
okay.
Yeah, and as we learned last night, that's totally normal that over time the predators will push the boundaries, even though at the beginning you were a little bit paranoid about it or questioning whether it was okay. Over time, they develop trust and again push the boundaries even further, and then they'll be accepted to be able to do things like a
Slumber party.
etc.
And I loved, I could not listen to Gray Hughes anymore before because I just couldn't. I get the vibes, the creepy vibes, the predator vibes. Now, Goldilocks, I'm going to give you one huge reason why I don't think they've arrested Miss Potato File just yet. Number one, they want really hard, solid evidence. They're not going to, her case could go to trial right now on all the circumstantial evidence that we have. Number one. Number two, many people in Florida say that Jenn Soto's mom has clout and has connections in that area. She does taxes and other dealings with money, and possibly it could be maybe the people that she does dealing with could be the judges, could be some of the police, could be the lawyers. That's a rumor, all speculating, allegedly speculating. Now, they do want to use her, and anybody that says that they're not going to use her for a witness is wrong. They're going to use her for a witness. But my number one thing, I think, is they want solid evidence, and her mom has some pull in that area. She's such a hypocrite. Dude, I want to so bad, Caitlin. I want to so bad, but I can't. I can't because I could really truly get sued for that. I know some dirt on. I know some dirt. I've looked her up and I found some shady shit. Oh my god, let me tell you, but I can't. All right, back to Gray Pubes. That sucks. I hope not.
Still look at him on, like side eye, like making sure, like, is that normal? Is this okay? That's not
Questioning whether it was okay.
not to trust anyone.
They develop trust.
Sleepovers, no, not.
Slumber party.
Each of the words that she uses, if it's not the exact thing, it's close to it. Now, if you take each of those words and you put them together, normal, over time, boundaries, paranoid, questioning, develop trust, slumber party, you put all those words in order from paranoia, complete mistrust to complete trust. Over time, that's grooming. So he used words that she used in a deflection, put them together in the trajectory of mistrust to complete trust. He used that as to make the definition of grooming. He didn't look at the source of information and point to something and say that's grooming. Matter of fact, the event that he's pointing to, as far as Madeline sleeping in Stefan's bedroom, is a year after the bulk of the CSAM evidence was produced.
Yes.
So how is he grooming in 2023 and he's
Yes.
already going 100 miles an hour doing whatever?
Can somebody go to Gray Pubes, please? Please go to GHI. Go to GHI and tell him the dates that Stefan was already abusing Maddie, and then the date where he got a room and continued to, and the tripods and Jen's knowledge. Can you please go to him and tell him that? Because we need him to know that. Maybe he'll see this video. And V, we love you. I'm glad you found us here at Guilty of Crime. Welcome. Oh my goodness. 100 miles an hour, 100 miles and running. like NWA.
And between 2019 and 2022, I already told you it's chronologically impossible. And grooming's not a standalone event. It takes place over a long course of time. They're talking about June 2023. She met that man in 2017. I don't know what you call that, where you take words of someone's, she's not even telling a narrative, and then you make it a narrative under the terminology that you want, but you don't use the source of information to identify the example. Wouldn't you use the source of information and say, that sounds like it's, he doesn't even do that. He picks and chooses certain words that match up with the definition of grooming and puts them together so it sounds like the trajectory of mistrust to complete trust. And he calls that grooming.
Take it down, baby. Take it down. What do we got to lose? We're here trying to help the victims. Hey, for all the shady folks, do what you want. Good will always win over evil, folks. I don't care what you say. We just have to be patient. Now, I'll read this real quick because I don't know if he's going to. Now, Jennifer Soto. We're going to say Jennifer Soto and GHI. Jenn Soto says, so I had a rule. She wasn't allowed to sleep in Stefan's bedroom at all. Like, no sleepovers, no nothing for a very long time. For years. That's not true. Me being super paranoid not to trust anyone. For the longest, Madeline's life, even though he treated her well, I still look at him, like a side eye, like making sure like it's normal. Is that okay? Gray Hughes says, yeah. And as we learned last night, that's totally normal that over time, the predators will push the boundaries, even though at the beginning you're a little bit paranoid about it or questioning whether it was okay. Over time, I can imagine him being like, over time, they develop trust and push the boundaries even further. Wink, wink. And then they'll be accepted to be able to do other things like a slumber party. You hear me, freaks? Hey, freaks, hit the like button and give me money or I'm going to stop talking. Yeah, he literally calls his people the freaks. I don't know what that's about. I wonder if he has a brochure for the freaks, you guys. Nope, he won't, but he's creepy AF. Long and over time. Super paranoid? A little bit paranoid. Yeah, gross. You're right. Gross. Trust. Look at him. You look like side-eye, questioning whether it's okay. Is it normal, she asks? That's totally normal. I love that he does stuff like that. Tamika. How she
So
and
what
him were
makes Gray
together.
Hughes' theory seem accurate? I got a comment earlier that said, I don't like Jenn for what happened, but if you think about it, they didn't charge her for a reason. So at the end of the day, it does make a lot of sense what he said. It makes a lot of sense if he's not giving you the full picture. If Jenn wasn't charged for a reason, if they didn't charge Jenn for a reason, what's the reason? Gray Hughes saying Jenn Soto's innocent based on not being arrested. They didn't arrest Jenn, so she's innocent. That would be like flipping a coin, heads meaning guilty, tails meaning innocent. Gray Hughes just says innocent and walks away before the coin hits the ground. So Jenn not being arrested at this point does not mean she's innocent.
Right.
You don't need a law degree to know that. Anybody, they'll tell you. Jenn Soto hasn't been arrested yet is based on the course of the two cases that Stefan's fighting right now. So he has the CSAM S battery case, and he then has the unaliving case. So some people would call this a double whammy, where you get charged with a crime and then you get charged with a second case while the first case is still pending. Basically, what that does is it makes sure that, especially if you don't have a criminal history, that first case will make you have a criminal history. You have a prior felony conviction. So when you get to the second case, the punishment is much harsher. So even though the first case is a death penalty case, the second case can really seal it for him. If Stefan could get 30 years on the first case, and then when he goes up for the second.
Yeah, he's right. The first case is going to be, and he'll probably get more than that. They're not going for the death penalty right now, and they are going for the death penalty for the evil stuff that Jenn says. But you could bring things from that case into that case if the judge allows you. Yeah, he speaks logic. I love it. I love the way he edits all that. Lee Hurd, thank you for all you do and share with us. Arrest Jenn Soto. Well, thank you. Thank you guys for being here. I'm sure Grish probably got another 1,000 subscribers today. And not just from my channel, but just from the new content he put out. And everybody just loves him. How could you not love what he's talking about? It's just all common sense and logic, folks. Common sense and logic. Yeah, the prosecutor sucks.
Second case, he's done. And based on what I'm saying, if Jenn were to be arrested, most likely she would be arrested after Stefan's first case. So, but once she's not being charged now, but after the CCMS battery case goes through and Stefan's guilty, they'll probably arrest Jenn for the unaliving, and they'll probably try them separately. I think
they will definitely
knows
try them
more than
separate.
I think he does. Jenn knows more, and it's unfortunate that Ray Hughes will have you thinking that Jenn is innocent because he's not giving you the whole scoop. It is just the actions of the police in this case will tell you that they don't believe Jenn. If they're in the beginning of this case, they put GPS trackers on their cars, they searched their house, they did a lot of things that police might do certain things as far as searching and bringing canines to the house to try to find a scent, things like that. But they were definitely on Jenn's tail by putting a GPS tracker on her car and Stefan's car.
They did.
So even after Madeline's body was found,
they absolutely did, you guys. And I've got to tell you right now that I was looking through old paperwork today. By the way, I found the emergency warrant request cover sheet. I'll show you that after, but I was digging up old paperwork and I'm telling you right now, thank you. Well, first, let me thank Microwave Cheese for the 5 Guilty of Crime memberships. I hope everybody that gets a membership enjoys it. I promise that you will, because the content that we bring and the things that we do are above and beyond, I think, what a lot of people do over here. I always feel bad for the people that aren't in green and like we're doing giveaways or we have some really good shows for members and we do things for members. So thank you, Microwave Cheese, for that. Clar, I just want to tell you I love you. And thank you. And I'll tell you about that after, but they are absolutely, law enforcement is looking at Jenn Soto. They didn't arrest her yet, but they're looking at her stuff, everything as much as they are with Stefan's. They've got her phone, they've got Maddie's phone, they've got the computers, they tracked both of them. I'm telling you right now, I was just looking at the things that they took from the condo today. She is being looked at and they wanted to arrest her so bad, in my opinion, but they didn't have enough hard evidence to go to a judge and for the judge to sign off and say, okay, we can go to trial. That's why she's not arrested. And then after that, I'm going to go down the chain of logic. And I know her mom has connections around there in that area. Law enforcement people say is shitty, but I don't know. All right. Jamie, what's up? That's all right. Rewatch, all good. Hit the like button, subscribe, show some love. I'm going to gift memberships right now. My Leo twin, Sharon, sent me money so I can gift memberships to you guys. So let me do that right now while we're listening to him keep going. Grish, 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 and Grish. If I didn't say it enough. All right. I always give credit where credit's due, you guys. Every single person that I work with knows it. I tell them, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks. People are like, shut up. You don't got to say thanks. I still say it. It's gratitude. All right.
They have a warrant for Jenn's phone. That's if someone has probable cause to get a warrant, they know enough to put into an affidavit to get access to your phone. So what do you think they have once they have access to your phone? They got everything. So
Yep.
if you put just the fact that they're filing for search warrants should tell you that they're on her.
Yes,
And
sir.
then in addition to that, the derivative use immunity, just
This
having that
this
means
part,
that
guys.
these
Yep.
if no prosecutor is going into a case without the confidence of winning, they're
Listen,
not charging you with something without the confidence of winning. And they're not going to give up a conviction for immunity unless they really know that you're going to flop this one.
yep.
And derivative
Bingo.
use immunity basically means this is from the police or the DA perspective.
Bingo.
You've been lying this whole time, and we know it. So we're going to let you save your own butt
Hell yeah.
by
Hell
letting
yeah.
you come in here and telling us the whole truth. And nothing that you tell us about what happened will be
Yep.
used against you. And if you don't lie, you'll have
That's right,
immunity.
baby.
But if
That's
you
right.
lie, deal's off the table.
Yep.
Just them giving Jen the opportunity to have a derivative use immunity interview pretty much means
Amen.
they knew she was lying and knew that she would stick to that lie even after the fact.
Amen.
So if you
Amen,
put that
brother.
together, she's lying to save herself. She's not lying to help Stefan.
Thank
So
you.
Jen, with the whole texting Stefan's father to get him a lawyer, no, it's to save herself because she doesn't want Stefan to go in there
Talk
and say something that would be
about
damaging
her.
to her. So
Yes.
she's going to do everything to
Yes.
prevent being arrested. So
Absolutely.
what else makes Gray Hughes' theory seem accurate? Is it because he's knowledgeable? Gray Hughes sounds knowledgeable, and I sounded knowledgeable in the beginning of this video when I told you about the furnace. I sounded like I knew what I was talking about. No matter what I was saying, I told you what the problem was, and I showed you that I found the solution. So I guess I do know what I'm talking about. But the furnace was a static problem,
Thank you,
meaning
Angela.
the problem doesn't change. I had to learn the dynamics of the HVAC system. I had to find the cause of the problem. When I found the cause of the problem, I replaced the parts, and I know that it's fixed when there's heat in the house. And after that, I get a pretty cool YouTube anecdote. So I replaced the thermostat, I replaced the flame sensor, and it's no longer Siberia. You can't do that with what's going on in the Madeline Soto case. There is no static problem. It's a dynamic problem,
Love
meaning
him.
it's constant change.
Yep.
Ray Hughes presents his theory as far as Jenn Soto being groomed
As static.
as a static
Yep.
problem. Grooming
Absolutely.
and everything involved in this case is a dynamic problem. It constantly changes over
Changes.
time.
Yep.
So he acts like he has the solution or he has the problem solved by just pointing to a couple things, but it doesn't work that way. Now,
I
listen to
love
this.
it.
It's clandestine and the parent doesn't see it, the child might not be aware of that. Now, isolation, these predators will often make up excuses to spend long periods of time alone with the child.
Now, I showed you earlier how Gray Hughes was taking the word and then wording them in a way to tell you that's the definition of grooming. Now, Gray Hughes in his video has his screen up, and on his screen is a website that talks about CSA. And that website is run by a law firm that tries civil cases on behalf of victims of CSA. So the information on this topic is thorough, and he's using that as a way to seem like an expert in this topic. When in his own Facebook post that I pointed out to you, let me go back and read that. My opinion that Jennifer was also groomed was one I came up with based on actually looking up how these predators work. So he just now started learning about this to prove his theory, and he tries to act like an expert in it.
I
But
love
that's the
it.
difference between a static problem and a dynamic problem. Going back to the furnace, if I only looked at the thermos,
I love what I mean, you can't break it down any more simple. Static versus dynamic. If you guys, anybody does go to Gray Hughes, tell him that the problem constantly changes. So he can't just go on his little website and put up that law firm that has a bunch of CSAM information to help defend or I don't know if he talks about defending the CSAM, probably in his the way he acts, it does. But tell him that. Tell him the problem's ever changing. You can't just say, "Oh, he's groomed her," and there's that. I love it. I'd love to, but he would kick me out. I already got kicked out of his chat like probably 6-7 months ago. He blocked me. I asked a legit question and I didn't tip him, so I got thrown out. Love it, guys. If any of you guys actually are on his channel, ask him a question like that and see what he says. Minnesota girl, thank you so much for the $4.99 super sticker. I appreciate you. We'll say the super sticker has this on it. I hope you guys took your pills. Love it. All right, let's keep going.
That I wouldn't have fixed the problem. I have to look at the whole dynamic to find the problem. Hughes is looking at one part of a dynamic problem. Just stepping stones. He's not even looking at Jenn as part of the problem, or he doesn't even consider it. This man has Google and is looking up just how the predator works, but he doesn't look at what the signs of a complicit and enabling parent are. At the very minimum, there are 3 people you have to look for signs of CSA: Stefan, Jennifer, and Madeline. There are signs of that. And you know what? They're on the website that he's using to look like an expert. So you would think
it. Thank you,
that
Snee.
he would look at the credible source of information that he's looking right at on his computer screen and say, this is a sign of this problem. But he doesn't do that. He uses Jenn Soto to remix her words and then say, but this is on this site. That's not how it's done. It's not how it just doesn't work that way. So he has 3 steps. He takes Jenn Soto at her word during an interrogation at that. He matches what she's saying to predator traits and then tells you, oh, you see that there? See, that's what it is. He's just reading. If he is going on that website, he's just reading the vocabulary terms. He's reading. He could have read the different terms on that website and say, you know what? That's what that is. He doesn't do that.
It's clandestine and the parent doesn't see it, the child might not be aware of that. Now, isolation, these predators will often make up excuses to spend long periods of time alone with the child.
Look at that.
He goes as far as to read that, but he doesn't read that and then say, you know what? An example of that is right here. An example of isolation is when Jenn Soto moved Madeline from Kissimmee, Florida to Port Charlotte, 3 hours away from her family, her friends, her school, in the middle of the school year during the pandemic. That's isolation. At the time, she was 9. She probably didn't have her own cell phone, and she was stuck in that apartment with them. Who knows what was going on over there? Who could she call there?
Yeah, and you guys know now she was younger than 9, and he was using, when they started finding out and documenting the abuse, he was letting her use a phone if she would put his pinky winky in her mouth for this amount of time. I'll give you 5 minutes for every amount of time that you do this. So yeah, I mean, Grish is nailing it, right? Grish is just breaking it down. I love him. And you know, it's so sad. What you're saying is true. On our last Friday show, when one of the ladies came on and talked about being working in that field where people come in and get abused, statistically, moms do know what's happening under their own roof. You say 5 out of 10 allows it to happen. And I thought her statistics were more of like 75%. And then you break it down even further. Not only that, no, but then he goes all the way down to 25%, and only 10% will ever say anything. I don't have it in front of me. I'm not pretending to be an expert, but I'm agreeing with you that more moms than we all think absolutely know. And Jenn Soto in this particular situation knows, in my opinion, and in his opinion, and in your opinion, and in. All right, we're not on the Oprah show. Let's keep going. You got one. You got one. A card for you. A card for you. Right back to Grish, guys.
that's isolation. And that's why you look at Jenn in the whole dynamic,
Thank you.
because she's the one providing the environment. Stefan wasn't doing all that stuff like he was when Juan was living there.
Nope.
He couldn't
Nope.
do all that stuff when Jenn
Hell
was living with
no.
Yolanda. When Juan moved out and he
Hell
was
no.
in his van doing his thing, that's when Stefan moved in. That's facts. That's just facts. Think of it like this. If you're invested in this case and you really know every interview, you've heard everything. When you hear Jenn speak, see if her statements don't boil down to these simple things. I didn't know. I didn't see it. I wasn't there. Do you ever hear her say anything to the effect of, when did this happen? Where was I when this happened?
Right?
How did I not know? How did this get by me?
Right?
No, she doesn't ask any questions.
She
She
doesn't.
doesn't volunteer any information. You have to pull it, sounded wild, pry it from her, I guess.
Very true.
Everything that Jenn says, when it comes down to if she's getting pressed on anything, I didn't know, I didn't see it, I wasn't there.
End of story. Yep.
When coming up with a theory like the one he has about Jenn Soto being groomed, hopefully I explain why it doesn't make sense. But it's just, it's wild to me how he doesn't see like the human aspect of this. How he can say words like boundaries and things like that and try to twist people's words to his advantage.
Yep.
He doesn't look at
Maddie,
how
Jenn,
this
and Stefan.
12-year-old girl had to live every day with those two people. How she had to wake up between those two people every day. And then he has the nerve to bring up someone pushing boundaries. There were no boundaries.
Nope. No
What kind of
boundaries.
boundaries you have? What kind of boundaries you see when you have to sleep in between two 30-something-year-old people? What kind of boundaries do you see to where you take a shower, you gotta walk past them. You gotta walk out their room into the kitchen area, right next to the front door, to walk into your little partition
I
to
love
just
that.
get dressed. Come on. And then go out of that little partition area back into their room to sleep in between them.
And many times now we know that we're documented. She was abused so many times in her little partitioned room, you guys. So I want you to know that between that room number 4 and that middle partition, those were the number one places that they recognized the abuse. Now I don't know what abuse or what the law enforcement is going to do with all the 35,000 images that do include other children. I don't know if any of the other children that Stefan abused were in person or a girl that he was dating or sleeping with at the time. I don't know, but I do know, or I do assume, that they were buying, selling, and trading the stuff that they were creating at that house in those circumstances. And yes, it's very disgusting. And so is Stefan Stearns. Ugh.
But eventually, at some point, like we really want to watch. I forgot what movie it was. They really wanted to watch something, and I was really tired. And I said, "Okay, fine, go ahead, but this can't happen often." I got homework.
Yeah, so you relented at one point, and then after that seemed to go well, it seemed to be normal to them now. It became normal, and even though it wasn't often, she would allow it so that she could take care of her own self. She has mental issues, and a lot of times when people have mental issues, especially as many as she has, you're spending a lot of your time trying to manage how you're feeling.
That doesn't even make sense.
No, it
How
doesn't.
could she relent on something like that when
It doesn't
she's
make
the
sense.
one that's been doing all the weird sleeping arrangements? Mental issues, look, you go to a therapist, you take the prescriptions you're given for your mental health issues, whatever they are, and that's so you don't have to think about your mental state all the time.
Exactly.
But Jenn uses it
Exactly. I'm gonna finish the sentence and then you can hear it. Earlier when I heard him say that, or I listened to it last night, you take your medication so that you're not sitting there worried about your mental circumstances and what's going on. That's why she was so addicted all the time and needed to go get her pills. That's why you take them, so that you don't have that. Not so that you can take them and then say, "Hey, sorry, Carly, I can't do my show today because I took way too many of my pills and now I'm whatever." Everything that she used, her and Stefan all use their pills as an excuse for everything. And that's what Grish is about to say. Oh my God. Yes, I love the way he explains it. It's absolutely just straight up logic, common sense, and freaking logic. I'm going to back it up just a little bit just because I want to hear him say that part again. Yeah, spending a lot of time trying to manage how you're feeling. That's why you take the pills, so that you're not saying that all day. I'm so depressed or whatever. That's why you take those pills, all of them.
She would allow it so that she could take care of her own self.
Yep.
She has mental issues, and a lot of times when people have mental issues, especially as many as she has, you're spending a lot of your time trying to manage how you're feeling.
That doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't.
How could
make
she
sense.
relent on something like that when she's the one that's been doing all the weird sleeping arrangements? Mental issues, look, you go to a therapist, you take the prescriptions you're given for your mental health issues, whatever they are, and that's so you don't have to think about your mental state all the time. But Jen uses it as a way to absolve herself from accountability.
And so did Stefan.
Because Jen is more sophisticated than what she puts out. So you don't accuse her of certain things, or you don't think she's sophisticated enough to manipulate people. So she adds on the mental health problems. So mental health becomes I'm not aware, and prescriptions become I'm numb. You see what I mean? It
Yep.
kind of gets her out of that. Like if he didn't say all that, most people will probably be pressing her harder. But oh, she has mental health, she has bipolar.
Right. Poor thing.
Around
She didn't
10:30,
know.
I started getting ready for bed myself. I started eating and taking my meds because I have to take meds.
I started doing this.
When I went to take my meds, I realized, oh my God, I forgot to take my Saturday night's meds,
No,
which
you
is
didn't.
why I felt so weird and so abnormal and not myself Sunday while I was at work. Everyone at work noticed I was acting different
Something
and not
happened.
being
That's
myself. Like
why.
I couldn't smile in front of the guests. I felt this wave of depression that I hadn't felt in years. It was my bipolar symptoms coming
Nope.
up again, but I've been medicating myself for all this time.
Nope. Nope.
I realized I forgot to take my meds, and I said, "You guys, I need a good night's sleep. I need to take my meds." Um, I sent them to sleep upstairs in the guest bedroom so that I could get a good night's sleep.
So get a good night's sleep.
How many?
And if you remember right after this, only because I heard it today, allegedly speculating plays them over and different, like all day long. I'm listening to it and I'm like, yeah, number one, lies, 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 but also what she's saying, you could just take that little bit that she breaks down and say, what is she really trying to tell us here? What is she really saying about what happened when she says, I started to do this? And then, I mean, is that how you tell your story? Is that what you, is that what you use? I couldn't even smile that day, and people were commenting on something was wrong. No, something was wrong because something already bad had happened in your mind. That's why you called Stefan Stearns panicked. You called the dad panicked and asked for Stefan Stearns to hurry up and get down there. You needed him down there right away. Something else was going on. Now, they are going to talk to the employees the day she worked and ask how she was. And the employees are going to say, yeah, she was acting really weird that day. We were telling her, hey, you need to be more friendly with the guests. And she was saying, no, I can't because I forgot to take my meds on Saturday. No, I'm going to bet you my car keys that Saturday was when that something happened. Something either went on between Stefan and Jenn or Stefan and Jenn and Maddie. Something in that dynamic happened to cause her to act differently at work. And that's what she's telling us. So that when they do say that, but I'm going to tell you something that happened is something that happened that led up to Maddie not being alive anymore. It's not just coincidental. I'm going to tell you that. Yeah, the defense for everything. I agree. She's telling us a lot more, just like when she can't breathe and she lowers her voice and she whispers. All right, let's keep going.
First person pronouns can one person make in 1 minute. All she talks about is herself.
Right?
So think about this.
This is
Like,
great.
her daughter is actually missing. Well, to everybody, I don't know about to her. She might know she knows what's going on. Her daughter's missing, and all she talks about is herself. Jenn only cares about Jenn. You heard that. Have you heard Jenn talk about anything positive in a
Nope.
subjective way about her daughter? Have you heard Jenn say anything that would tell us how her daughter is unique? This picture is the one that really set it off for me. The paintings just stacked up against the wall. The whole house has no art on it. Madeline's little partition has all these art supplies and not one piece of art on the wall. That tells you exactly what's going on. Jenn Soto said she didn't take her medication on Saturday. She was feeling bipolar symptoms and depression or whatever that she never felt before. Now, Jenn Soto had a blood work appointment on Monday. I don't think Jenn forgot to take her meds.
This is great right here. Okay, guys, this is a mic drop. I'm going to shut up and I'm not going to talk. This was a mic drop moment for me. It was a mic drop moment for Carly. We both said, we're like, hey, you remember that part? Like, all of it was great, but this is a mic. I didn't even think about this. All right. I didn't even think about this. And that's why I love the perspective of Grisch. All right. This is why she didn't take her pills on Saturday. And this is why more than likely she was doing what she did and felt how she felt. Now, oh wow, and we just hit 444 people, which again, angel number. Say a prayer for Maddie that she gets complete and utter justice, you guys. Kaiser and all the facilities, all the hospitals are making you sign this waiver that talks about the opioid crisis. And part of the opioid crisis is any of the pill, any Xanax, any of them that you can name that has some kind of, whether it's an opioid, I don't even want to start naming all, but you know what I'm saying, something that's not supposed to be in your system, and all the things that are in their system that we are saying. All right, now listen up for that. So all of them are doing that now. Now that I go to the hospital, they force you to do that. They say you got to do this if you want to get your this. And all right, it's because they want to make sure they don't mix something, that they don't prescribe you something that mixes with something else and causes your death. All right, thank you, Kylie, so very much for the 199 super sticker. Appreciate you more than you know. All right. And we do got to talk about it. I mean, I do got to have you come up on a show. We need to figure out which one.
I think Jenn remembered to take the medication she's supposed to take
Nope.
and couldn't take the medication that she wanted to take.
Bingo.
Because she had to get her blood drawn on Monday. And if you didn't take the drugs you wanted to take on Saturday because you had a blood work appointment on Monday, what could be absent from your system in 48 hours?
Bingo.
I have a painting, the one you see in the center there, that is inspired by people like Jenn Soto. Maybe you can figure out what it means. Be safe.
Love it. Push down and turn. Oh, yeah, it's a pill bottle. Open, push down, and turn. Gotta love his art.
I could get a good night's sleep.
Yep. You can't go in there all doped up, guys. Come on. You can't go in there all doped up, folks, if you're going to go get your blood work, because then you're not going to get the pills that they're prescribing to you that you need to stay normal and not withdraw. All right. So, okay, one other thing. What is up? And Sharon, shout out to you, my beautiful Leo twin. I did gift memberships with the money that you sent me on Venmo. So thank you so much for that. Love you guys. Love you, Sharon. And so you guys can thank Sharon for gifting some of the memberships. Jay used herself, her meds, her mental health. Yeah, absolutely. It was her benzos. Yeah. That was it. All right. I wanted to read one thing real quick. Love you too. And we love Grish. Again, it's all in the section. I got one thing to tell you guys because I know everybody probably didn't go over to my page. A lot of people didn't get to go to my post section. So I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna say it once, and then I'm gonna tell you guys Turtle Island is on tonight. I hope you guys go over there. It's free. You can call in and it's free to vote for Guilty of Crime. If you'd like to vote for Guilty of Crime, it's called Turtle Vision and it's Dolly Uncensored. I don't know if you could do me a favor, Carly. That's Grish's channel, but if you could find the Dolly Uncensored and drop a link so everybody can go over there. And I wish you luck always, Sadie's mama. I want to leave on a note where I let you guys know what I wrote on my post board. I'm going to read that to you and then I'm going to be out of here. Yes, it's free. You can go over there and it's free to call in. It's free to go chat with Jay from Guilty of Crime and the mods. It's a good time. Dolly Vision Uncensored. Now, Guilty of Crime was nominated to be on the show. We're doing pretty well right now. If we win, I think we win some sort of money prize. I am going to buy merch and I'm going to be giving out merch to you guys, not to myself because I already have merch that I ordered for myself and my little family because we have a new merch store. I'm going to buy merch for you guys to give away. So if you guys want to help me and go vote for Jay at Guilty of Crime, go over to this Dolly Uncensored. I'll leave that up. And that would be fantastic. I'm going to leave you with a thought, and then I'm going to stay as positive as I can about everything and all the different weird situations. I don't know if it's Mercury in retrograde happening or what the heck's going on, but I wrote this yesterday and last night just to let you guys know, all in one spot. Please do not miss tomorrow's show. That was last night about Jenn Soto mainly, but I have to address a really important issue, so I only have to do it one time. It's about the Madeline Soto case and how YouTube works, especially in this case. Now, we all want justice for Madeline Soto and hashtag arrest Jenn Soto in my community, your community, as in I speculate the part of the CSAM material and the taking of Maddie's life and the scripting and the getting rid of her body and the entire cover-up of the case. I believe that Jenn Soto's involved. Now, I respect those that believe otherwise and those that pick my content apart on another case and they make a video out of my content or they react to it, because I also do that, right? I do my reactions on here. I'm a true crime content creator. I report news. I react to other videos. I read documents when available. I get FOIAs when I can. I take calls when I want to hear from the community and your input. And most importantly, I'm building a safe and loving community that may morph into different directions over the years as things progress. Okay. What I do know is I'm consistent, loyal, loving, caring, and sometimes I'm harsh when people don't like what I have to say to them. But I still got to say it. I'll tell it how I see it. And I'm not afraid to discuss uncomfortable topics to the community or to you individually, one-on-one when necessary. All right. So the mods on Guilty of Crime have been a pivotal part of my channel this whole year in helping me grow, finding cases, researching them, protecting my sanity from the trolls, and to laugh with me when I really want to cry because I'm feeling bad about either something in my personal life or something online. So, if for some reason you have a problem or you dislike me or my channel, please leave right now. Get out of here. Do not write me a nasty note on my comments or on my page, or go out of your way to email me or send me a text. You not liking me is a you problem. All right. That's you having a problem. And guess what? You, whoever has a problem with me, you're not the victim. None of you guys are the victims in these cases. So I don't need to know anything about what you have to say about me. I'm too busy trying to help other victims like Corey Michelo's family, trying to help change the laws, get the Corey law in place. And I'm too busy with them to need to know anything more about what you guys are saying about that you don't like about me or trying to put me down. Okay. So the families need to have a voice and find peace in this life after they and everyone of the mods that are currently on my channel and the support keeps me moving along faster and helping more people as a team. So for those that have left my channel recently and are causing me any kind of grief, gaslighting me, or just plain ignoring my text for no reason whatsoever, I will no longer give 1 ounce of energy to the childlike behavior that I have learned a valuable lesson about the people that I'm now surrounding myself with. Over this course of time, I learned a lot, trust me, and I will now surround myself with the ones that are here. Like I told you earlier, this is YouTube, and it's YouTube. It's true crime. It's not junior high school where you can jab at me and turn friends against me and then gaslight me and then play who me I did that no and then take stuff out of context. You could do that, but you're not getting any more attention from me. You're just gonna get blocked. So from here on, all good vibes. Growing pains are good to help me and the channel grow and expand and ascend to higher levels of my consciousness. So thank you, Jay from Guilty of Crime. That was what I wrote last night when I was thinking about how I was feeling and what was going on, and just people being nasty and mods leaving and things like that. I actually do care about this channel, you people, the victims, and I care too much to a fault. But that being said, nobody missed anything. I'm just letting you know. I mean, the only thing you really missed is that there's been a lot of changes in the channel, a lot of mods leaving, some drama behind the scenes, and that's it. So I just wanted to leave that message personally to everybody. Again, you don't like me, I don't need to hear it. I don't care. I'm just going to block you and you won't get another chance. I love you guys. We're going to keep this a drama-free space. And I appreciate Kylie said she heard other people, you heard people on another channel talking crap and you went to bat for me. I don't even want you guys to have to do that because that's taking away from what we're doing on this channel. All right. So I love you guys so very much. I am going to go. Yeah, that's a Leo trait, Sharon. And people know it. I have a big heart and I open up my heart to people and I care so much. But when they stab me in the back, it really fucking hurts, you guys. And I don't want it to hurt like that. I don't want it to hurt like that. And I don't want to take it personal. So it's not even just the haters, Michelle. That's the problem. It was people that I thought were my friends. But that's all done. It's part of the journey. Like Presume Hostile said, this is this journey. Yes, we want to see you win. I want to see all you win. It's part of what goes on. I love each and every single one of you. What's up, Marcy? And I will hopefully see you guys back. Love you, Marilyn. I'm going to probably go eat some ice cream after this. I'm going to call you Leanne real quick. Love you guys. Love you guys. Love you guys. Go hug your children. That's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to go have fun. I'm going to watch Turtle Vision. And hopefully we get through because my daughter, Reese, loves to vote for her mom. So if you hear Reese, if you're over there, Reese will say, I vote for Guilty of Crime. Last week, it was because she loves her mom. The week before, it was because I'm a chunky queen. Who knows what she's going to say, but we're going to be over there. Okay, so I love you guys. Have a good night. It's been almost 2 hours. Go get out of here. Go get some food, whatever. Thanks, mods. Appreciate you all. Love you, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Good night. Peace out.
Guilty of Crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty of crime?